Jahseh Ricardo Dwayne Onfroy, known to the world as XXXTENTACION, was more than a controversial artist. He was a soul trying to make sense of pain, power, and purpose, all within a very short time. Born in 1998 in Florida, Jahseh's early life was chaotic, marked by hardship, trauma, and rebellion. But from the start, one thing was clear: he felt deeply embedded, and he expressed that feeling through music, turning raw emotion into art that millions would come to resonate with. And by the age of 17, a single song, Look at Me, catapulted him into fame. It was aggressive, unfiltered, and unapologetically real. People didn't just hear the song, they felt it because it wasn't polished or safe. It was a reflection of pain so many were carrying but couldn't articulate. Yet fame didn't erase the shadows. Legal issues, publicity, controversies, and inner battles followed him everywhere. But underneath the noise, something began to shift. Jahseh wasn't just chasing success, he was beginning to search for healing. He started speaking about energy, vibration, self love, and consciousness. He told his fans to meditate, to forgive, to grow. He believed in the power of thoughts, how your mind, your words, and your focus could shape your reality. In many ways, his message echoed the teachings of Florence Scovel Shinn in The Game of Life and How to Play It, which is a book that I will be mentioning throughout this video. I'm pretty sure he didn't read it, but he was a very good reader, and I will discuss some of his works that he was into later in the video. But Jahseh was trying to turn his life around, and he realized that life is not chaos, it's a game governed by spiritual law, that what you speak and you believe, you begin to attract, that even in darkness, you can become light. Jahseh he tried to change, to give, to love, but on June 18, his journey ended violently. Shot in broad daylight at just 20 years old, his death shocked millions, but his voice didn't disappear. His energy, his impact continues. Because Jahseh Onfroy played the game of life like few do, boldly, imperfectly, but with raw spiritual force, and in doing so, he reminded a generation that even from a broken place, you can manifest something eternal. Many times X has said that life is a game in many interviews, and the novel from Florence, by the way, if you don't know, I'm pretty sure X is from Florence, from Florida, or Plantation actually, I can't remember. But yeah, Plantation if I remember correctly. But yeah, so the idea that life is a game is essential to the game of life and how to play it. And X meant this in not a trivial way, but as a powerful metaphor. Life follows spiritual laws just as a game follows rules. And to succeed, you must learn and align with those laws. So what does life is a game really mean? Well, it means that there are laws. Life isn't random or chaotic. It's governed by invisible but consistent spiritual laws and spiritual principles like the law of attraction, the law of giving and receiving, and the law of karma, cause and effect, which simply means that everything you do comes back to you. And if you don't know the rules, you play poorly, resulting in frustration, struggle, or lack. So what X was trying to tell us too was your thoughts are your moves. And in this life, you play through your thoughts, words, actions, and beliefs. He sympathizes and emphasizes He often emphasized that your dominant thoughts create your reality. You attract what you focus on, like choosing moves in a game that determine the outcome. You're not the player, but
You want me to do it for you? Gotcha. Want a video?
you're the player, but you're not alone. You have a free will, but you're also guided by a higher power, which is what you believe in religious terms, which could be God, the divine intelligence, whatever you think the higher power is. So when you align with that guidance, it's like having a coach or cheat code. Things begin to flow, synchronicities occur, and your desires manifest more easily. And many times throughout X's interviews, he would often say that failure is just feedback. Mistakes, setbacks, and losses are not final, they're part of learning life. The game resets every day. You can change your beliefs, your energy, and try again with new awareness. Winning isn't beating others, it's mastering yourself. Unlike competitive games, the goal isn't to win against others, but to live with peace, purpose, and prosperity by mastering your inner world, which was what Jahseh was working on right before his passing. And when you do the outer game, money, relationships, opportunities align accordingly. X's message is empowering. If life is a game, you're not a victim of chance, you're a conscious participant. When you learn the rules and play with intention, life becomes not a struggle, but a creative, joyful experience. So basically, what he was explaining is that there are rules to life. Life is governed by spiritual laws. Your thoughts are your moves. Your thoughts create your reality. You're the player, but you're not the only one in the lobby. You're guided by a higher power. Winning isn't beating others, it's mastering yourself. And to talk about these laws that were often mentioned, like attracts like. In essence, that means your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs act like a magnet, attracting experiences, people, and the outcome that match your inner state. Some core ideas to the law of attraction: thoughts become things. What you consistently think about, especially with emotion, shapes your reality. Positive thoughts attract positive outcomes. Negative thoughts attract challenges or delays. You attract what you are, not just what you want. So that means you must embody the energy of what you desire: confidence, abundance, or love. And if you want success, you must think, act, and feel like someone who is already successful. And what fuels this, what drives this, is emotion. Emotion is the fuel to reaching these goals. Emotion gives thoughts power. A strong emotional response, joy, gratitude, fear, doubt, supercharges your energy and magnetism. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrational states and is a powerful attractor. And focusing is everything. Focus on what you want. Whatever you give your attention, energy, and focus to, whether you want it or not, grows. That's why worrying about what you don't want often brings it closer, and beliefs open the doors. So belief is a switch that activates the law. If you don't believe it's possible, you block the flow.
Study your laws of the universe. The law of attraction, the law of abundance, the law of equivalent exchange. Study your laws, the laws of cause and effect, the karmic cycle. Study your laws. Dwell into your mind, meditate. Understand that you can alter your realms by your train of thought. The minute you slow down your thought, you're able to leave your body through astral projection. You're only enslaved if you can't.
Florence, from the novel I'm quoting, also stated, "Faith knows it has already received." Faith knows it has already received. Alright, so I'm not going to leave you all hanging in this video. I'm going to just give a quick in-depth guide on how to use the law of attraction. So step one, get your journals out, Get your journals, get your notebooks, your pens, scraps, paper, and write down for one, clarity. Know exactly what you want. That's step one. For step two, visualization. Picture it in your mind with vivid detail and positive emotion. 3. Affirmations. Speak it into being with confidence and repetition. 4. Feel it. Act as if it's already yours. You feel the joy and trust of having it already, even if it's not there. And then soon enough, you'll have it. And then 5. Let go. Release attachment, doubt, and over control. Trust the timing. So, from a modern perspective, while often viewed and framed as manifesting, many also see the law of attraction as working subconsciously. You shape your perception and choices based on your dominant thoughts, which in turn creates your reality over time.
Everybody gets their chance. Look, whether you play ball, whether you play football, whether you box, whether you wrestle, everybody's gonna get their turn, literally. And I want everybody to acquire this knowledge and acquire this hope. Everybody will get their turn. What you speak to the world, and craving and ambition and wanting anything is the way to speak to the world. If you want something so bad and you speak it into power, you wish it into power, it's gonna happen. I'm firsthand, and I firsthand will tell you that.